Oh, alright, everybody. Oh shit. I don't even know where I am. Okay, let's try to fucking center myself here. I usually walk with a light on, you know. Like, what if some pack of coyotes try to roll up on me, you know? I got a knife, you know. I don't know how I do against like 30 of them. But I don't know if you guys can see this. But the New Mexico sky is pretty beautiful. And I'm walking off trail again. Let's see. Got center. Back in the road. Alright. Maybe if I talk louder, the coyotes will be frightened. But no, it's nice right now. Sucks right now though. I have a fucking headache. I'm not fucking feeling well right now. I want to just lie down and cry. But this is all just the sufferings of priest of Zoroastor. You know, shit. You know, don't become a priest of Zoroaster lightly, children. I mean, you may think it's all fun and games, but there's some hard work involved. Oh, man, no, it sure is nice out here. You know, I just got excited. Oh my goodness, I just got excited though. Like in my head, I've been creating this, all these stories, you know, and fuck, man, I'm just like, you know, walking like a drunkard and shit. Anyways. So, yeah, no, it's fun. Like you have these two different planets, and there's this one guy who, he lives on one of the planets. He's a creature, and his species lives for like 10,000 years, you know. And there's 3 different species on the planet, and there are 2 slave species and a master species, and his species is part of the slave species, but they're like more of the intellectual help, you know. The other species are just dumb idiots, you know. They can be used for work and war. This guy, he's like really lonely, you know. And he really gets into like just building stuff and learning stuff, and he's just super into learning, but nobody else is. He's more of a science and engineering type, and he just keeps learning and learning and learning and devotes himself to it, even though he's just like miserable, you know. And he just hates the master species, and he's able to create a bunch of stargates that connect both of these planets, because he sees that, oh shit, this is a planet out there just like ours. So he's able to connect the planets, and he's able to do it through science, but he tricks the master race into thinking that the only way to power these ships or these gates is through the sacrifice of gods. And so they have to, and this is a ruthless race anyway, so they don't mind killing each other to power these machines. And he's able to build these machines so that they only operate in the presence of this species' DNA. Anyways, it's a super sad story. You know, I put and I don't do it on purpose, but I put a little happy ending to it, I think. But anyways, but this creates a world where, you know, these people are like primitive, right? On both of the planets. And it's about the clash of these, or not clash, but the interaction between these two planets. And it's like I have a whole bunch of series of stories, and it sounds like it's going to be really fun. But basically on the planet that's being invaded, right? This is the beginning of a new age, right? You have everything that was happening before this time, and everything happening after. And this is just totally fucking new age. Now they call it the demon age, right? And it's fun. I'm gonna try to throw prophecy into it. Like there's gonna be a prophecy that say during the end times, you know, during the end of this demon age, statues will rise and statues will fall, right? And like I like it because this age will start out primitive, but it'll eventually have this quickening of science, you know, kind of like our own. And so they're going to become scientific, and they're going to discover that, oh shit, these stargates aren't, you know, godly religious artifacts, you know, and then they're going to discover that you can power these gates without these species DNA. Like he built it in so that they would start killing themselves. And he was also hoping that, you know, to bring in the people from this new planet against this master species. Because he was without hope for his own planet. And once people, because this guy is going to be treated like they're fucking Moses, right? But once like everyone starts to fucking like realize what he did, all of those who hated, which everyone hates this master race. I mean, by this time they all hate him, but they can't do anything about it. And these people who hate this master race, they start to put up this statue of this guy. Like they start to raise up the statue of this guy. Same statue that the gods promote, and the gods will be throwing down this statue, right? So. And throughout this history, you know, you might have statues being torn down and people will be quoting this line, but it doesn't apply. So I think prophecy is fun. But anyways, it's like, so one thing that starts to happen, like, and one of the reasons behind like this story project is to really show the audience the scientific reality of a tribe, because we have the, you know, toxic nationalists out there that want to present a tribe as if it was, is, and always will be. And it's like, no, that's That's not history. History is transformation. And through all these different stories, the audience is going to see the background, and they're going to see they're going to see all this change that's happening. But I started out with the creation of a new kingdom. This guy, he runs for the hills, and he runs for the mountains, and he starts to get the people to block up the valleys so that these creatures can't come in. And at first they just block it up by like dirt and rock, and they'll plant trees, and grass will grow. So it's a barrier, and they try to make it look like a natural barrier. But in the future, this kingdom are going to tear down these walls and then build actual walls, right? But they're able to survive and thrive because they're kind of hidden from the world. But it's going to be about the creation of this great kingdom. But when you see this guy who creates it and the people involved, they're all just regular folk, and they're just trying to do the best to survive, and like it'll start out with a history book. Like you'll see a book, and this book will start to tell you about the grand, glorious founding of this kingdom, but then you're going to see the actual story and just say, hey, this is just a regular guy, right, doing regular shit. But in an epic way, maybe. I don't know. But it's more normal than just all this save the world stuff that happens in all these cheesy ass stories nowadays. It's something that it's like a snowball that turns into fucking what's it called? Avalanche. But anyways, one of the things that's going to happen, like you'll have that story, but then boom, you're going to have another story that happens later on. And the audience will be able to see the background, something that their own characters can't really see, right? Which will be interesting. Because they'll be as arrogant as we, right? Which is actually why I wanted to make this video, but I'm going on this rant. Because I got excited, I started making a new story in this world. And so one of the things that's going to happen is that people are going to lose faith in the religions before the demon age, right? And the world before the demon age, I don't even want to even create. Like we'll probably have to create a bare skeleton, but as bare as it can be. But people are going to just lose faith in the religions. But new religions will be created, right? And so you'll see some of the creations these are some of my favorite stories that I've created on my head. But, I've got this one created by two women. And these two women were like religious women before the demon age, right? And their world's invaded and destroyed, and they're taken captive, right? They're not murdered or destroyed, they're taken captive. The soldiers are killed, but these masters want slaves, right? So they take these people, but these women, they're just kind of caring women, right? Just gentle, caring women. One of these women are gonna come to the attention of God, right? Because she's trying to not get the people to be defiant, so they won't get beaten, right? And so, anyways, it's fun. She ends up having an opportunity to like just kill him, and she does. She kills him. And then there's this one servant in the room. He's of a different species. And this servant doesn't fucking like these guys. And so they concoct a plan for revolution. And the humans and the warrior species unite, right? So it's a fun little story. Now she ends up dying, and later on you're going to see her followers. But you're going to see her followers before you actually see her story, right? And I know there's maybe a specialness to just the mundaneness of it all, right? Rather than the epicness of this, ego masturbation. I don't know, but I created other religions too, and I created other parts of the story. I still need to write it all down, but earlier I just created a new story, and it's still in its infancy stage. There's a lot I need to do, but essentially it's just going to be this guy. He's a watcher walking through town, and you see him looking over at the church. Maybe he goes in, and they're gonna be wah, and if it has anything to do before the demon age, I think I'll probably actually do that. It'll just be wah. But he's gonna see just the power of faith, right? But this guy's just a drunk, right? He's a drunk, and he ends up heading to the tavern, right? And he ends up concocting this little game of his where he tries to convert the tavern into his own little temple, right? But, right, at first he's going to fail because there are going to be all these voices within the tavern that are just determined to wallow in their own misery, right? And so he's going to fail, and then he needs to go out and have a learning moment. I don't know what that is yet, but he'll go out there and have a learning moment, and then he's going to be able to come back into the tavern and silence all those negative voices. And he's going to find some others in the tavern who are now freed from the prison of their own misery. And they're just going to sit back and they're going to get drunk. And they're going to theologize and they're going to philosophize. And they're going to laugh. And they're going to drink. And, this guy's not trying to fucking save the world. He's just trying to, wrestle with his own reality, right? And unlike some of these other characters, these other characters are more they care. They care maybe too much. Some of them. And, but this guy, he's not like one of those guys, But that's what they're going to do. They're just going to sit around, they're going to just theologize, philosophize. Eventually they're going to start writing stuff down, or maybe somebody will write stuff down after the fact. I don't think that'll be the fun of the religious aspect of it. Who wrote it, and when. But, it would be fun in the story to see some of the converts from the community, because eventually this is going to turn into a religion, and these converts aren't really like theological believers. That'll be the funny part of it. Because like later in the future, the believers will be like believers, and it'll be different, and not in the spirit of its founder, right? And the audience, I think, will be sad for that particular religion. But no, like these quote unquote converts are just going to be like sitting back watching society and be like, huh, these guys, know what they're saying, right? And they're just sitting back and laughing at the absurdity of it all. So yeah, no, that I think would be a fun little religion to create. Fun little story too. But yeah, no, you know what? I was making all these videos on history, and I mean, it's so weird for people to see the past as like primitive, because like the same attitude that we have is the exact same attitude our ancestors are going to have towards us, right? I mean, they'll be laughing at our at life being powered by these explosion machines, yeah. Or the primitiveness of modern electronic hardware, It's just so weird. That we would see the people of the past as like somehow more grandiose than our own inanity, or so primitive that they're not as sophisticated as us. And that probably comes more from modern political toxic polemics. But that's the characterization of the past that many people hold to. But yeah, no, it's strange.